By Berger, and this one is crushed out of the end zone. 21 touchbacks for Berger this year. Neil O'Donnell will open up in the second half for the Cincinnati Bengals at quarterback.
Boy, Berger not only punting the ball, but pushing the ball back into the end zone. I remember when Jim Mora was coaching down in New Orleans, he used to say, because they had Morton Anderson kicking off and he put it in the end zone a lot and the opponents had to march 80 yards, that in that dome it was very difficult, percentage-wise, very difficult to march 80 yards when you've got the crowd noise inside like that. But it takes somebody putting it in the end zone like Mitch Berger, and of course field position is so important in this game, and the punting game that he's performance he's put on today has been spectacular.
From the 20 with Scott in motion. First down and 10 yards to go. A pull by Anderson, a run by Brandon Bennett, and he picks up a yard. We understand that Corey Dillon is in the locker room with the left hip pointer, but they say he will return.
The hip pointer can be very painful, and once you quiet it down, you can give it some medication and you come back and play on it that day. You're usually out for the rest of the week getting ready for the following week, but you can fight through it, unless of course it's more serious than just the hip pointer. It's falling on the hip, bouncing off that turf.
Second down 9. McGee's in motion. Play action by O'Donnell. He throws to the fullback Brian Milne, who's to the 25. His 12th reception of the year. Tackle made by McDaniel. Gain of 3.
Look at Bennett's block right here. Now you see coming up the middle, whack, knocks him straight down. That gets Neil O'Donnell time to get the ball out to Brian Milne for that nice steady pickup. One break of a tackle away from being a big gain that time.
Interesting number there. 3-0 the Bengals in the last 3 games in domes. Here they face a 3rd and 5 from the 25. Blitz is on, picked up well. Eric Bieniemy gets a wonderful block up front. A flag is down at the 21. Block up front thrown by guard Mike Goff. 63.
There was no foul on the play. The play results in a first down.
Bengals continue to move it, as we have just found out that Ashley Ambrose will not play the rest of the day. Dillon, they think, will come back.
Well, I tell you, that flag was a little unusual. I never saw it. I think that one must have fallen out of the pocket of one of the officials, and they just picked it up. Ed Hockley does a good job of making sure that everybody's on the same, all of his officials, 7 of them, are on the same page, and that they don't make mistakes or make the wrong announcement. They're ready before they do it.
First down and 10 from the 31. And off again to Bennett. Blocked by Bush, and Bennett cuts inside across the grain and works his way to the 37, picking up 6 yards. Talking about Hockey League, we were in the truck before the game. He brings a small tape recorder where he's getting this broadcast now. When he flies back to Phoenix tonight, he'll watch his game. He will go over and see how his crew has done. Then tonight and tomorrow and on Tuesday, Jerry Seaman, a Minneapolis resident at one time, will watch in New York and grade this crew and everybody on this crew going into next week's game.
Well, there's a lot of review, and there are layers of review to try to get it right. Officiating is so important.
Second down 4. Bennett across the grain, breaks a tackle from Thomas, dives for a first down to the 43. Tackled by Hitchcock, who chopped him down after a gain of 6.
I told you, I mentioned earlier that Bennett was a guy in training camp that you could see a lot of promise. The blocking up front has been terrific. They're getting him started. But watch Brandon Bennett cut back. That is a terrific move right there. It's hard to get up into the hole and try to accelerate, stop, and then go sideways.
Kid didn't make Cleveland, Chicago, or Miami last training camp, but he makes Cincinnati's. He's carried 6 times for 25 yards. They can look out. Here comes Randall. O'Donnell spins away and throws it away, and there's a flag. O'Donnell was decked at the 35, and how Randall didn't get him, I do not know.
Ed Hockley throws the flag, and he's now going over to see if the other officials think there was a receiver in the area. Of course, Neil O'Donnell would like to plead that case before the decision's made.
If he had gone outside the tight ends, he would have had a chance to do that.
Well, that protects the quarterback outside the tight end, but he was clearly in the pocket.
There was no intentional grounding on the play. Number 85 was in the area of the pass. Brings up second down.
Good call. This is a good crew, and you can see why they're so highly regarded.
Now watch John Randall right here, coming up the field, completely makes the blocker miss. He's right there in the grasp. If there was any danger of the quarterback getting hit by somebody else, they blow the whistle. But when it's one-on-one, they allow the quarterback to try to squirm loose, and that's what happened right there. Another thing, another compliment to Ed Hockley on that one. He threw the flag, and then he went to confirm whether it was right or wrong, and then just picks it up. It's not right. He makes it right.
The good ones do it.
Yeah, it'd be hard to go and talk about it, then throw the flag late.
Second down, 10 from the 42. There's a block for Sargent, setting up a screen pass for Bieniemy, but reading it well, Dwayne Rudd. Wonderful play and a gain of 1.
Dwayne Rudd has terrific vision. He just sees everything out there and a lot of speed. We talked to him last night. We said, which kind of a running back would you like to go up against? The guy that also has good vision, has a good quickness and kick, or the big guy? He said the guys that are toughest are the ones with vision because they can make you miss the first time. The big guys, at least you can go in there and pound them, hold on till somebody can come and help out.
Rudd did not begin last year as a rookie, as a starter, but when he was showing such great promise in practice, they moved McDaniel inside, put Rudd outside, and put Brady on the bench. Brady no longer a Rudd. It's 3rd down and 9. O'Donnell off the fingertips. Another drop pass by rookie free agent wide receiver Damon Gibson. Incomplete. McDaniel was all over O'Donnell, and they got to kick the ball, punt the ball to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Neil O'Donnell had no time to look that one over. He had to let the ball go when he did. Get it. If it doesn't work, at least don't take a loss. Should be good field position here with the Bengals punting at the about the 43-yard line.
Lee Johnson will punt. Began with the old Houston Oilers back in 1985. David Palmer held ineffective most of the day because of one fair catch after another. Gets this one, breaks a tackle. Great special teams by the Bengals, led by Greg Myers, their safety. 51-yard punt. They limit Palmer to a 3-yard return.
Greg Myers and Sam Shade have a lot of tackles on defense and on special teams.
Timeout.
Bothered him a little bit the way they conducted the 2-minute drill. Let's see what he does on this drive.
From the 11, 1st and 10. Cunningham decked as he throws a pass, which is caught out in the flat at about the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 8. Chris Carter makes the catch.
Michael Bankston hits Cunningham right on the throw. Just a straight pivot. And if you notice, when Carter planted, he came back to the ball. The ball was thrown in behind him. If both receiver and defender are standing side by side and the ball is thrown away from the defender, the receiver can still make the catch. You don't get much of a run, though.
Carter, the 6th all-time receiver in NFL history. 2nd down and 1 from the 19. Robert Smith around the long block. Not much there. They've done a wonderful job in shutting up Smith this afternoon.
As you watch Randall Cunningham up close, he doesn't look like he's got full extension. It really looks like he's just kind of in a, not a squat obviously, but just he's being very careful, just ginger as he walks around out there with each step he takes.
And they have no Brad Johnson out with the broken thumb until at least mid part of December. They've got a kid who's on the bench who's only thrown 4 passes in his NFL career. Another kid who has never played in the NFL. Horde is in on a 3rd and 1 for Cunningham. Quick throw outside, caught by Carter. Randolph fell, and there goes Chris Carter out to the 48-yard line. Gain of 27. He made a move on Thomas Randolph that left Randolph on the floor.
Watch for Thomas Randolph right here. Watch. He comes up, he falls down, much like Artrell Hawkins did a week ago against Jacksonville, and Bengal fans are getting tired of the fall downs out there in the secondary because they always result in big games. And now Chris Carter's slow getting up. In fact, he hasn't gotten up at all.
Today he made his 90th consecutive start. Injury timeout, Vikings. 1st and 10 on the Carter reception. They bring the blitz. Cunningham is ready. They get him, and down he goes at the 37-yard line. The second one of the day for the Bengal defense, and the first of the career of young rookie free agent Adrian Ross.
And the Bengals are going to bring from the outside. This is Renard Wilson right here. Just powers through the block, or at least the attempted block by Charles Evans. And this is when you're Denny Green on the sideline or Brian Billick, you're flinching right now because look, everything's down around the knees and ankles of Randall Cunningham.
Ross was third string a week ago. He's replacing Steve Foley, who's replacing the injured James Francis. His first NFL start today. 2nd and 19. Set up the screenplay. Evans with a block from McDaniel. And a tackle made by the trailing linebacker Brian Simmons. Another rookie, but it gets a gain of 10 for the Viking offense.
And an injury on the field out there for the Bengals. Clyde Simmons is down. The Bengals are blitzing. You see they're bringing everybody. That's Greg Myers. You see him coming from the outside. And when you blitz, you run the gamble that if somebody's free behind the blitz, he's going to have the long run. But what the Bengals have going for him is they've got speed at the linebackers. Brian Simmons, Takeo Spikes, all of them very fast.
Another injury timeout. Shotgun snap out of the pocket. Sprinting is Cunningham. Needs to get to the 43 with the band wheel shoved out of bounds by Thomas Randall. He did get the first down. It is shocking. It is not. It's amazing. At 35 years old and operated on Monday, he looks like he's 25 and he's never had a scar put on his body.
Look at the stride. This is the important thing. He's taking big strides. That means that he can reach out with that knee and the muscles that, of course, are holding everything together right now, and enough speed to get there. And then the second effort. This is one tough quarterback.
Two-time NFL MVP Randall Cunningham. 7th play of the drive. Vikings lead by 4. Robert Smith outside with room to roam, and he's got a first down, a gain of about 11 yards. Randolph and Artrell Hawkins shoved him out of bounds. That's the Robert Smith we're used to seeing.
It is, but I tell you what, going back to that last play that Cunningham made, that may be the play of the game, making that first down on 3rd and long. Now here's to go right back to the running game again. Good solid block, and just open up and give him a chance. But this is more than a chance right here. There's nobody around. Anybody can run through that hole, but you give it to a good running back like Robert Smith, you're going to make extra yards. But I think the play before, when Randall Cunningham made that first down on 3rd and long, that was the play of the game at this point.
Andre Purvis takes the place of Clyde Simmons. 1st and 10 from the Bengal 31. Smith again. Remember now, the Vikings are going up against the number 30 run defense in the NFL, but they haven't looked like the last place defense at all today.
Not at all. And the Bengals have been giving up 30.8 points a ball game. The Vikings at home are averaging 32.2 a game. Totally different look here today. It shows what a team can do when they put their mind to it and their focus is right. Even a team with a poor record can come up and play the best team or one of the best teams in the NFL.
Chris Carter back in with his 5 receptions. 2nd down and 9. Cunningham with time throws, looking for Reed, intercepted again by Hawkins. His 2nd of the day, the 2nd of his career, and he effectively shuts down Cunningham. There is a flag down on the field at the 35. It appears to be against the Vikings, and the Bengals defense has held again.
The penalty is declined. Cincinnati keeps the ball. First down.
This is stunning.
Now Jake Reed just turns the wrong way. The ball is thrown back to the inside. Artrell Hawkins finds it. See, Reed turned to the outside. The ball's thrown inside. Artrell's 2nd interception of the day.
A surprise brewing in the Twin Cities. Get on track. O'Donnell right to work on 1st and 10. Got the time to throw and slings it upfield to Scott. Spun around at the 31. And he picks up 7. Tackle made by cornerback Jimmy Hitchcock. We have not seen a lot of Carl Pickens today.
Well, they've only thrown in his direction one time. It was incomplete. He was out of bounds. And Carl Pickens is a weapon at any time. But remember, when you've got a weapon like Carl Pickens, the other team knows you have the weapon, and that's who they defend. They roll up, they bump and run, and you go away from the roll-up.
2nd down, 3. Nothing going there. They gave it to Dillon, and he was wrapped up by Tony Williams. Fans, check out the NFL on America Online at keyword Team NFL. On the web at NFL.com. Log on Tuesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time to chat live with Jets quarterback Vinny Testaverde on America Online. It's 3rd and 3 for O'Donnell.
Another one of those 3rd downs, a long 3 as well. 3 wide receivers in the ball game, and they leave a tight end to block it.
Nickel secondary for Minnesota. Empty backfield now with Dillon in motion. Short drop, quick throw. They go to Pickens, and they get the first down as he tries to wrestle his way free. He's up to the 38. Huge play as Hitchcock makes the tackle.
Let me tell you how good a catch that was. He never saw the ball until it was almost on it. And Pickett's going to go to the outside right here. He doesn't see the release by the quarterback. Neil O'Donnell took a 3-step drop, unloaded the ball. The ball was halfway to him when Pickett's head turned around, but he had those quick hands. And, you know, I used to have drills where the guys wouldn't see the release, and they had to turn around with their fingers open and their hands ready.
The leading receiver in the NFL, Carl Pickens, with just 1 catch today. 1st and 10 from the 39. O'Donnell again with play action. This time he goes to the fullback, Mill. He's got room to rumble, and he's down to the 42. Griffith the tackle, a gain of 17.
We're seeing the running game paying off in the passing game. Token fake here on 1st down right here. Now what's the line? See the linebackers freeze? Then they turn, and when they turn and run, that's when you open up somebody that's going to slip out late. In this case, it's Brian Milne.
He's caught a couple today.
Well, he's a good receiver out of the backfield. He's a guy that was hurt early in the training camp period, first part of the season.
1st and 10 from the Viking 43. It's Dillon with the block from Graham. That opens up room, and he's finally brought down by outside linebacker Dwayne Rudd, but not after a gain of 7 by Dillon.
Good blocking up front. Brills, Graham, Sargent, all of them opening up the hole. And when Dillon carries the ball, or when Brandon Bennett was carrying the ball, you see no indecision in their mind. They hit the hole.
Jets with the nice 13-point lead on the Colts. Miami in a low-scoring affair in the Carolinas over the Panthers. And Buffalo on top of New England. Flutie Magic alive in Orchard Park. Here, 7-3, Minnesota. 2nd down and 3. He's hit. Randall knocks the ball away. It's loose. It's a wide ball. Picked up by Rudd, and there he goes. Touchdown, Vikings.
Sack by Randall. The arm, was it coming forward? There was no beanbag thrown. If the beanbag was thrown, it would have been a fumble. There's no beanbag thrown right here, but they rule it a fumble. You see, the officials, no one in the area picked up this time by Dwayne Rudd.
So you're saying it was a pass?
Well, I'm saying that no official ruled it a fumble, that's for sure, because immediately they're taught you drop the little green beanbag when there's a fumble.
That, to me, looked like forward motion. Anderson with the extra point. And the Vikings have gone up on Cincinnati 14-3. And Cincinnati was moving the ball. But Dwayne Rudd with a huge fumble recovery. It's Minnesota on top. The ensuing kickoff by Berger is belted deep into the end zone. Another touchback. 3 kickoffs by Berger, 3 touchbacks. He has been fantastic.
Well, what we have right now is re-entry of the crowd into this ball game, and it's all for this play right here. Is the arm going forward? The arm is clearly going forward. The officials have ruled apparently the ball wasn't in the hand when the arm was going forward, and then Dwayne Rudd, of course, picking it up, going the whole distance. In a way, it's a shame because it's a close call, and Bruce Cousins had his share of those Tuesday afternoon phone calls where they say, "Gee, I'm sorry, that was we missed that one." That one was a crucial miss.
On the 21st and 10, Dillon tries to cut the corner, and that one is stopped by Jimmy Hitchcock, the ex-Patriot. Just 9. Brandon Bennett, no place to run, no place to hide. Doused at the 17. Robert Griffith up the middle at the tackle. Griffith has had a great season.
Don't tell me there isn't anything to momentum. It was just taken away. Bengals were moving the ball well. It was just an even fight between the two teams. Two good football teams playing well. And then that turnaround fumble and pick up for the touchdown. And it looks like Minnesota has energy they didn't have earlier in the day.
And they need it because they got Green Bay next week and then Dallas after that. This is a very important game for the Vikings, who lead by 2 games in the Central coming into today. 3rd and 11. Time for O'Donnell. All day to throw. Now it comes at him from behind. Derek Alexander.
Well, O'Donnell's going to move to the right. And what they're doing is they're just moving the pocket. They're changing where the landmark is that the rush cut from. But O'Donnell, a veteran, knows that he doesn't have that much time. I think if Bruce Cosler's frustrated with anything with Neil O'Donnell, it's probably that. Just go ahead, make the decision, let the ball go, instead of trying to think a little bit too much on occasion.
Third sack registered today by the Vikings. Johnson will punt. And gets it high, but not very long. Palmer under it at the 42. Trying to dance away from Hundon, which he does. Finds a seam, which he does. And there he goes. Inside the 35 to the 34. Tackled by Adrian Ross. A 44-yard punt. Returned 24 yards by Palmer.
Both sides of the ball. Now defense, of course, has to come through for the Bengals.
Nice seam for Robert Smith as he slithers to the 29. Sam Shade the tackle.
Here's what happens now, Kevin, a little bit. Defensively, they know they've got to make a play. So you start to take a little bit of a chance that you weren't taking earlier. You were doing a good job defensively. Dick LeBeau's group, Bruce Coslet, the head coach there. But now you start to take, or are willing to take a little bit more of a chance to try to see if you can't get the ball back, create a turnover, create a situation where you knock them out of field goal range. And in doing so, of course, you run the risk of the big play against you.
Second down, long 4. Horde is in the backfield. Carter's in motion. Horde gets the call. Dent keeps his footing and is to the 26. In 1996, when Robert Smith was injured, as he has been many times in his career with the Vikings, they got this guy Horde, who had been let go by Carolina. And Horde has been around the block a few times in the NFL, but he came here, solidified the position, and now is a perfect complement to Smith in this Viking offense.
Well, this is his 128th ball game. He's actually played in more ball games than any of the other running backs for the Minnesota Vikings. But he's a role player. And we kept hearing last night when we talked to Denny Green and all the players for the Minnesota Vikings. Everyone has a role. Everybody has to play it.
It's 3rd and 2 from the 27. It's Palmer, a great third down back, who on his last 12 third down tries has converted 11 of them. Incredible. Takeo spikes the tackle. Nonetheless, a first down for the Vikings and Palmer.
Well, Palmer's one of those explosive guys that you just can't let him go because he can go the distance.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score. Vikings 14, Bengals 3. We'll return to the Metrodome after this message and a word from your local CBS station. 23, 1st and 10. Fake handoff. Sprinting is Randall Cunningham outside to the tight end Glover, the ex-Oakland Raider. And he's close to a first down, a pickup of about 8.5. Adrian Ross the tackle.
Here's the play of the ball game. Let's look at it a little bit slowed down now. Neil O'Donnell drops back to pass. Here comes Randall around the right side. John Randall. The motion has started now. The motion started. As he comes forward, does he have the ball in his hand with the motion going forward? That is very, very close. The part I take issue with is that the officials were not decisive. There wasn't an immediate bag throw saying fumble.
2nd down 1 and the first catch by a Viking tight end today. Smith dancing his way, and Ross gets around his ankles and brings him down.
And now the Bengal defense, they have to know, as professionals, here's where the ball game is decided right now. They've got to keep them in the ball game, even if they give up 3 points, and they're well within field goal range right now. Stay within 2 scores of the Minnesota Vikings and hope that Jeff Blake can spark something for the Bengals when they come back on offense.
I've mentioned it before. They have not looked like the 30th ranked defense in the NFL, let alone the 30th ranked against the run in the NFL, with the great Robert Smith stymied today. 3rd and 1 from the 14. It's Horde. They'll try to bulldoze, and let's see where his forward progress takes him. Michael Bankston up the middle with the hit.
The spot looks short. I'm sure they're going to measure this one, and Minnesota probably has for the measurement if there's any question. Randall Cunningham is showing about a 6 or an 8 inch, and they're going for the 3 points, which gives them the 2 full touchdown lead.
What would you do?
I think at home right now, the way the defense is playing, I'd go for the field goal. Make sure you get that cushion. Don't give the momentum back to Cincinnati with something on a 4th down play that wasn't successful.
So here's Gary Anderson, who played for San Francisco a year ago, and going back to last season has made 22 consecutive field goals. It's from 32 yards away, and it's up. Making 23 in a row. the Vikings annex their lead with 12:48 to play in the fourth quarter. It's the division leading Vikings 17-3. Berger sets to tee it up after his teammate Gary Anderson just knocked in a 32-yard field goal. Berger, what a day. 3 kickoffs, 3 touchbacks, and a couple 66-yard punts. I'd say he's earned every penny for the Vikings today.
He's been a weapon.
And the kickoff, long and high and deep, and touchback number 4. Tremaine Mack to a knee. We'll leave it there.
You're playing quarterback.
With the touchback at the 20, it's first down and 10. Blake fires a pass, which is dropped by Darnay Scott. Stitched out at the 24. To second and 10. Corey Dillon with a great move, and he's out dancing to the 32. A gain of 12, and Orlando Thomas makes the Viking tackle.
And this will be a first down. This is a play that's going to start to the right and then bend back. Now watch the vision. We talked about vision being an important aspect of running. It's not just power, and it's not just elusiveness. You've got to see where things are so that you can get there before they close up.
Remember, Dillon has fumbled last couple weeks, including last week in Jacksonville when they returned it for a touchdown. He's got to hold on to the ball. End around Pickens. He gets a lead block from the center grills and out at the 32 and a flag throw. Dixon Edwards followed him, trailed him, and tackled him.
And it looks like Dixon Edwards may have grabbed that face mask as well. He's sure upset with himself about something. There it is.
George Hayward out of St. Joseph, Missouri, was the judge on the side who made that
Personal
tackle.
foul,
Headlines.
face mask, defense number 59, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Carl Pickens, they try to get him the ball with a reverse as many times as they can, at least once a ball game. Clearly the face mask inadvertent. He's just trying to make the tackle from behind. You know, we mentioned earlier about that Jeff Blake has started 52 games, only 2 100-yard rushing games around him. Boomer Esiason last year had 4 of those 100 yards, and Neil O'Donnell already this year has had 3 100-yard days in the rushing game to help his passing game. So Jeff Blake hasn't had that advantage. He's still a fine quarterback.
Another Viking penalty. Here goes Blake airing it out, looking for Scott, and he's got him. Knocked away, intercepted by Jimmy Hitchcock. The ex-New England Patriot gets a block from Griffith and scores out of bounds at the 34. A 34-yard return. Hitchcock with his 4th interception as a Viking.
And Darnay Scott and Carl Pickens lived off of this throw right here from Jeff Blake a few years ago. Just a little underthrown, perfect position that time by Hitchcock.
Interception by Hitchcock, first and 10. Winds up, going deep. He's got Moss, touchdown! Hitchcock's interception sets up the Cunningham to Moss touchdown.
And this is what Minnesota wanted to do. Score quick and get Cunningham out of there. The bomb. Randy Moss kind of slowed down a little bit and then turned the Jets on again and went after it. This guy has unbelievable acceleration. Right over the top of the head. Now you lose sight of that ball just as it reaches your hands when you're looking right over the top. Your helmet blocks you out.
Career long 61-yard touchdown reception. Extra point by Gary Anderson. Moss, the #1 rookie receiver in the NFL with 7 touchdowns. The Vikings have blown this open in the dome. He just had his first in the last 5. Where is Randy Moss? He's right there and in the heart of the Viking offense. The kickoff by Berger again in the end zone, and Mack this time decides to take it out and finds a seam and is out to the 31 for the Cincinnati Bengals. Or it's the 35. From the 31, first and 10, Dillon sent outside. Wrapped up by Dwayne Clemens, who's taking the place of the injured Stalin Colonnade.
Jeff Blake made his living a year ago, or 2 years ago actually, throwing the ball deep with a high loft and letting those receivers, Pickens and Scott, run under him and make the big catch. That time it was intercepted by Hitchcock. But this is a quarterback who has the dimension of running. He can scramble around and make plays happen. He can make a good play out of a bad call, and he can throw the ball deep. The receivers just box the defender out and try to make the pass look good. Didn't happen last time.
2nd down and 10 from the 31. Blake, the pump and the throw to the fullback Mill. Met by Rudd. Shy of the first down at the 38. You see, boy, some close games around the NFL as Jay Fiedler is warming up. It looks to be set to come in the game, and Atlanta on San Francisco as they start the 4th. Wow.
New Orleans winning. I tell you, Atlanta hasn't been as excited about their football as they are this year, and I don't know how long. I grew up in Atlanta. I can tell you they are fired up and deserve to be. The Bengals in another crucial 3rd down.
3rd down and 2 from the 39. It's Dillon. 1st down, rumbling up to the 43, picking up 4. Dwayne Rudd again with the tackle.
This is Hitchcock after the interception and being Griffin is just going to absolutely pistol whip this guy. Now there's a celebration you don't see every day. Thank goodness.
Hitchcock picks it off. He's taking the place of the departed free agent Dwayne Washington, who went to the Steelers. 1st and 10 from the 43. Blake the short trap, but here they come right at him again. Derek Alexander. It's the 4th sack authored by the Viking defense today.
That one comes from their 96 #1 draft pick. 3-step drop real quick right here. Here he comes from the inside, and the offensive line was sliding. They're going to the right. Watch the line slide to the right side, and then they leave the hole back open on the inside, just inside of Rich Braham.
Very, very steady Derek Alexander, a #1 pick 4 years ago. 2nd down and 15. Blake, with time, fires a pass incomplete for the outstretched Carl Pickens, the NFL's #1 receiver. That's incomplete. Corey Fuller was there covering, the 6'2" wide receiver.
And what happens? The adrenaline's flowing right now with Jeff Blake. Anytime you've got a receiver that's pivoting, he stops, his shoulders are square and looking back at you. You throw out to his belt buckle, because as he comes back to the ball tends to climb up around the chest area. That time he aimed up around the head, the ball goes over his head.
Why does the ball rise?
Well, because he lets it go from a high point and it drops as it in flight.
Aerodynamics.
But a very good question from you.
3rd and 15. Blow that dead. Maybe too much time off the clock.
Before the snap, ball starts, offense number 75, 5-yard penalty, it's still 3rd down.
That's guard Anthony Brown replacing the injured Ken Blackman. Only the 2nd penalty on Bruce Koslick's Bengals today.
They came in with only 44, leading the league, which is a good one, leading the fewest penalties called against them. That's a team with discipline, a team that's playing hard but not committing mistakes. That means that they've got good concentration throughout the game. But we'll talk about it here in a minute. One of the problems they've had is finishing the ball games.
The AFC's youngest team, the Bengals, down 24-3, facing 3rd and 20. Up in the pocket goes Blake. He's got to get to the Viking 47. He's well shy, getting back basically to the original line of scrimmage. A scrambling game of 8. Kylie Wong, a rookie and a 2nd-round pick out of Stanford, makes the tackle.
And the Bengals, even though it's 4th down and long, have to go for it here to have any chance of getting back in the game with 8.5 minutes or 8 minutes and 24 seconds left.
No choice.
Well, there's no choice. You can't punt the ball, obviously. You're 4th down and long. But if you're going to get back in, you've got multiple scores you've got to make. You've got to get one on this drive. Bengals are only going to get the ball maybe 2 more times after this.
4th and 12, and on 4th down today, the Bengals 0-1. Battaglia in motion. The catch is made to the 50 and shy of the 1st down. Darnay Scott, a gain of 11 when they needed 12, and it goes back to the Vikings at midfield.
It's a good try, but the Minnesota Vikings are a smart football team. They had their heels planted firmly at the first down marker and kept everything in front of them. They made sure they didn't run for the first down.
We're going to see Jay Fiedler. The guy who at one time was in the Bengals camp. In fact, the Bengals recommended him to the Vikings. And up the middle is Robert Smith. Fiedler was an MVP in the Ivy League and led Dartmouth to many successful seasons. And he's left Sam White speechless.
Yes, I'm watching the pass. I want to see if he completed that with her. Was that my cue to say something?
That was it, but that's okay. We're just kind of getting started. We are in the fourth quarter.
We're in it right here.
Sorry.
Jay Fiedler, though, was supposed to be in this ball game a good 2 quarters ago. That was the plan. They weren't looking ahead. Minnesota was not looking ahead, but they just felt like they could whip Cincinnati. Cincinnati's played well, especially in their running game and their defense.
2nd and 7. Here's his 5th NFL pass, and it's a completion. And it's caught by Reed. That was more of a smokeless pass, but it had just enough gas to get to Reed. It's a gain of 12.
Well, you know, the first one, you want it to be smokeless. You don't want to have any fires break out at this stage of the game. Just let the guy get one under his belt. Laid in there close to a nice still target. Nobody on the move. I guarantee you, Jay Fiedler feels a lot better right now.
Fiedler was cut by this team in preseason. They went with Todd Bauman. But when the other quarterback, Brad Johnson, went down with the leg, they brought back Fiedler for depth at quarterback, and here he goes again. With the block from Smith, he goes deep, and he's picked off. At the 10-yard line, Sam Shane working his way to the 43. It's his 3rd interception of the year, return of 32 yards. And the 3rd turnover by the Vikings this afternoon.
Now that's a throw. It's a seam throw. You're going to throw it down the middle, and you're going to put it to where the receiver is headed. The receiver never looked back to try to prevent the interception. The ball was a little underthrown.
Man, have we got a college game for you.
Ball game next week.
Blake 1st and 10. Pocket crumbles, passes away, and caught. 46-yard line. Darnay Scott, a gain of 3.
Now the Bengals are going to have to go into their 2-minute mode, even though there's 6 minutes left in the ball game. They've got to score more than once, obviously. They're going to go back into the huddle right now, but everything's going to be up-tempo. They've got to get things going quickly. It looks like Darnay Scott's coming off with a little bit of an injury right there, reaching for that ball. It came down funny on the ankle.
He's battled an Achilles, and he's missed the last 2 games until today. 2nd down and 7. They swing it out to the flat, caught by Dillon. From behind, brought down as he goes to the 48. Gain of 6. Corey Fuller with the tackle.
Now Minnesota knows they're throwing the football, so they've got their ears pinned back. They're coming hard up the field. You can get those little swing passes and one-on-one open situations. On occasion, you can pop a little quick trap or a little quick draw right up the chute as well.
24-3 Vikings. A touchdown run by Cunningham. A 62-yard fumble recovery by Rudd. A 32-yard field goal and a 61-yard touchdown pass to Moss. 3rd and 1. Handoff. Dillon, and I don't think he staggered forward for enough. And I don't think he's got the first down. As Dwayne Rudd, who's had a wonderful game, including that return of 62 yards in the fumble. Make Bruce Koslick face 4th down and a long yard.
Rudd's been all over the field. That time, Jeff Blake tried to work the hard count, get them to jump off sides. They did move off sides, but didn't make contact. The ball didn't come up while he was in the neutral zone. They really missed an opportunity to gain 5 yards. 4th down.
And 2 to go. Blake hit, throws down the sideline. He's got a receiver who bobbles it, James Hunden. The guy who made the team as a rookie free agent a year ago, Anthony Phillips, was stride for stride with Hunden. Flag is down back at the 43. It's against the Vikings.
That'll be an automatic first down, regardless, because it's less than 5 yards, even if it's not a penalty that carries an automatic first down with it.
Illegal hands to the face. Defense number 90. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And the Bengals just need something big to happen in a hurry, and then they go back to work and hope that they can get a turnover and quick return, get the ball back real quick. That's their only hope at this stage. Cannot be conservative and drive the ball down the field now.
Blake, whose dad played in the Canadian Football League many years ago, was originally a 6th-round pick by the Jets in '92, waived in '94, picked up by the Bengals, Pro Bowl starter in '95, a horrible '97. 1st and 10. Boy, Dillon stopped in his tracks with a wonderful tackle from Ed McDaniel, the leader of this defense. They told us yesterday. Well, this, in our opinion, the play of the game.
Well, clearly, this was a terrific ball game up until this point. Both teams are playing even football. It looks like that the arm is going forward. It looks like a forward pass, therefore incomplete. No official threw a beanbag. There was no decisive judgment or call as to a fumble. That's the part that will be discussed on Monday in New York by Jerry Seaman.
2nd down, 11 from the 45. Blake blitzes on by McDaniel. The pass away. First catch today by tight end Marco Battaglia. Gain is 7. Griffith wrapped him up. Battaglia, 2nd-round pick out of Rutgers a couple years ago.
Bengals have to score 3 times. Now, they can take a couple of these shorter, or the run or the short pass to keep them honest, but they've got to go down the field here soon. And then, of course, we're into the onside kick situation.
And they've got all their timeouts. As you see, Cunningham in the background there finished 13 of 20, 224 yards, a touchdown, and he was intercepted twice. Uncharacteristically intercepted.
Yeah, but on 1st down, Cunningham was 9 for 9 for 163 yards.
3rd and 4, leaping catch by Dillon. Caught from behind by Run. Forced out of bounds on the far sideline.
Beanbag that time. No, make a decision.
4th and 2, and it's dropped by tight end Tony McGee. Underutilized tight end Tony McGee, I may add, and they don't convert on 4th down again. It goes back to the Vikings. Again, a great play by probably the defensive MVP of the game, Dwayne Rudd.
Clock time now for Minnesota.
Hand off to Leroy Hoare. Tries to carve out a couple. 2nd down and 9. Attendance record here at the Dome today, 64,232. I saw Tim Conley in the hallway, a guy who made a tremendous reputation for himself with the Kansas City Chiefs, now the GM with the Minnesota Vikings. He said in their plans down the road they would love a new stadium because they've got right now a limited source of revenue, and to compete financially for free agents against other teams in the NFL is fruitless. They can't do it.
Well, every city runs into that. You've got to kind of match the best to stay even in free agency.
2nd and 9. Hoare again. Chugging up the middle for a 1st down. Leroy Hoare to the 41. Randolph with the tackle.
Leroy Hoare is such a likable guy. You like to see him make plays like that and get back involved in the game. You know, even though he's not the starter, every ball game this year, he's been a factor in every ball game.
6 touchdowns. A season-long 19-yard return. We're at the 2-minute warning. Looks like the Vikings are going to go to 9-1. They've made some history here, which we'll tell you about in a second. From the Bengal 42, it's Hoard with the flag thrown. Hoard will not be denied. Look at him shot all the way to the 33. Gain of 9. Brian Simmons makes the tackle. This kid right here is a rookie from Harvard, Matt Burke. The quarterback is Jay Fiedler from Dartmouth. I will guarantee you, as the penalties against the Vikings, I will guarantee you there's not another offense in the NFL today that will have 2 Ivy Leaguers on the field at the same time.
And your point being?
Illegal motion. Offense number 85 moving forward at the snap. 5-yard penalty, repeat 1st down.
There's no point.
The wager would be for.
It's a statement of fact. Is all. All the Ivy League guys, and you can see them. This is the only team that has 2.
There you go.
On the same club. That's why I was saying this.
Well, look at this now. Look at this right here. Indianapolis
have 2,
and they're both running backs. So I trump. You know, I could trump your trump right there with that one.
If they get both those kids in, I'll buy you dinner next week.
You haven't bought me dinner yet.
Well, we got something to do now. We've got a reason now. 1st and 15. Leroy Hoare to the 24 of Cincinnati. Mack and Shade and Hawkins all had to bring him down. He is a runaway locomotive.
And you know, when you mentioned Sam Shade, it's also what has happened with the Bengals here. They just don't finish games. Let's look at the standings right here, though. Minnesota will go to 9-1. A 2-game lead over Green Bay at this point. And Tampa Bay still not out of this one, I don't think. Cincinnati dropping to 2-8. Jacksonville, Pittsburgh. This is a tight race right here. There's 3 good football teams. Tennessee playing the Tennessee Titans. I guess they're the Tennessee Oilers for the rest of the year, but they will be the Tennessee Titans next year.
1st and 10. Ward again. He's coming off a career, making a season-long 23-yard run. And with that carry right there, where he makes his move to the 21-yard line of Cincinnati, Ford replacing Robert Smith. 7 carries, 51 yards. Not a bad day. You and I have Pittsburgh and Jacksonville next week. What a game that will be at Three Rivers.
That's going to be a lot of fun. And, you know, that's not only are they 2 top football teams, but they're become a rivalry over the short history of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When we visit with Jacksonville and Pittsburgh, they both mention each other as top rivalries already.
Vikings will lead it off to their fastest start since 1975. And they can go to bed tonight knowing that at the very worst, they've got a 2-game lead over the 2nd place Green Bay Packers in the NFC Central. Randall Cunningham, almost a Lazarus type story. Down last week with the knee surgery on Monday, practice Wednesday, and starts and gets a win for the Vikings this afternoon. The Bengals will drop to 2-8. And their postseason hopes all but gone. Now they fight for the so-called respectability factor in the 2nd half of the season.
Well, they respect Bruce Coslett and the coaches there.
Use up every last moment of sick time described in one's company benefits pamphlet, except who keeps their company benefits pamphlet. Randall Cunningham sought no time off to recover from his knee being scoped last Monday. He said God would heal him. And on Sunday, more Vikings disciples than ever came out to find out. Largest crowd ever to watch a game in Minnesota, and Randall warming up, set to go just after surgery. 3rd quarter, Bengals down 7-3. John Randall ripping off Neil O'Donnell, and Dwayne Rudd picking it up and racing 62 yards and in. 14-3, the Vikings in front. We show it again. Was it a fumble? O'Donnell's arm kind of starting to go forward. Ruled a fumble and a touchdown. 4th quarter, Vikings up 17-3. Randall, the play fake. He was 13-20. Cranks it out for Randy Moss in stride. And you know that! That's what he used to say. So the Vikings win 24-3 anyway. Only the 1975 10-0 Vikings started better than this year's team. And Randy Moss, who had slowed up in his last 4 games after a fast start, he had 4 catches for 99 yards. Even greater numbers were turned in by Minnesota's kicker, Mitch Berger. 4 punts, he had a 56-yard average.